Okay. Hi, Doc. Thank you for coming.
Thanks a lot, Chairlady.
Okay. Hello, folks. Here is Dr. Choya, but the Commander-in-Chief, the man you are here of, the one who will give his life for this struggle, the one I say goes in and out. So we're live today to give you guys a brief update on what is going on with our restoration quest, our recognition quest to be precise, with regards to self-defense and diplomacy, targeted diplomacy in particular, where we are, what we need to do, and how we have to, prosecute all of that. Thank you so much. So I'll leave Dr. Choi Yaba to make a brief statement. Doug, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairlady. Thanks for the initiative, and I'm very grateful to share the same platform with you as the Chairlady of ARC. And I'm very grateful to work under your canopy with the AGC. I think your leadership in ARC inspires the kind of collaborative platform that we look forward to having going forward. And I'm grateful that despite some of the schisms that we face, you've been able to pull the forces together to make sure we can focus our energy in targeting the issues that can take us forward in terms of recognition of AMBAZONIA, the defense of the integrity of our people, and the territorial space of AMBAZONIA. Work together with due diligence and reach out to other compatriots and to make sure that we as a people can move to AMBAZONIA. I look forward also to letting our people know that we are getting very close to our objective. AMBAZONIA now is ungovernable. We are increasing the cost of the occupation and deciding what level the occupation can exercise political authority in our country. I appeal to AMBAZONIANs to be patient. I appeal to everyone to be more focused and to avoid the kind of distraction at the periphery that make us lose sight of the objective. No revolution in the history of the world has gone this good. Yes, we can do better, but we are in one of the best places that any revolution after 2 years has ever been. We move the international community. We move the collective will of the AMBAZONIAN people to write their own story. We've engaged in the history of the world the greatest number of women, from those who have died on the ground like Mami Api, the old mamas who were crying on the ground last year, all the ladies in the diaspora like yourself and the other powerful ladies in different organizations have been so engaged that we've bridged the gap even between men and women. We've bridged the gap between the educated and the less educated. We've bridged the gap between the haves and the have-not. Every AMBAZONIAN is engaged in this revolution, and that is a great thing. And we look forward to taking everyone to Boya as a free people and building one of the most beautiful places to live on planet Earth.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I told you before that I want to hear that voice on a daily basis, if possible, and if not on a weekly basis. Is you bring hope to our people. Your voice, like I told you before, has when you talk, you echo the voices of Mami Api. You echo the voices of all our fallen soldiers. You echo their voices. Their spirits are embedded in your voices, and when you speak, you give hope to our people. And do not let any person ever whatsoever stop you from talking. If you stop talking, you're letting AMBAZONIA down. And so please, no matter what happens, you know, we hope that no matter what happens to you, your voice is always going to be safe, because your voice brings hope to the people of AMBAZONIA. Your voice has the cry of the suffering, the cry of the people who have gone before us. Your voice has that cry in it. You don't hear it, but each time I hear it, I hear that cry, the cry of the suffering, the cry of the dead, the cry of of people who don't know where to go. You know, you have the voice of the voiceless in your voice, and so please, you should never keep you should never keep talking. And let me echo you on the fact that we should not we should not lose focus. We should not get anxious. We should not get you know, very anxious when the going gets tough. We should put our the tough should get going. We should not waver. You know, we should stick to our principles and speak the truth always, and stick with the truth. And when the tough gets going, hold on to the truth, stay focused, and be grounded. Remain grounded in what you believe in. And the truth is not read from the Bible. The truth is not gonna come from listening to somebody. The truth is within us. And when you don't have the truth within you, you waver. You know, it is obvious. When you don't have the truth within you, you waver, you run around, you call when you're not supposed to call. So let's stay focused and be grounded in what we're doing. It's not going to be easy, but don't let the hard times push us out of our focus. So today we're going to talk about, unfortunately, we were supposed to have a platform where Dr. Cho AYABA would be, and myself, and then we had another person like a host who would have been able to take questions, you know, on our behalf, but we didn't have that today. So like I said earlier, you know, the Lord goes before us always. He went before us. He went before me and Dr. Cho AYABA before we were born. Before he formed me in my mother's womb and Cho in his mother's womb, he knew that on this day, we will be here on this platform. And so that this is where we are today, and we're gonna make the best of it. So we might take questions from the audience. You might type your questions and we will pick them up and answer them. If we don't answer your questions, maybe they didn't come, you know, they flushed through, and that's not because you were not picked. So we will move forward with what we came over here to talk. You know, Dr. Cho AYABA made a brief statement about the, you know, what is going on the ground. And, you know, we had talked earlier about targeted diplomacy, and that diplomacy, like we said, is a slow river that runs slow, but it's very deep, and that is intentional. So most of the things that we do on diplomacy are really not gonna be spoken on in detail when we go live. We're not going to tell you guys all of that in detail, because we will not jeopardize our diplomatic offenses. So all I want to say today is that we're working on two big diplomatic pushes, you know, that have fallen on our lap, and we are making sure that those go through for our people. And we said last time that the most important thing that we need, one of the most important things that we need for our restoration or recognition quest, is for a country to recognize us. And so now we're doing such targeted diplomacy targeted to that effect, so that we get a country to say, you know, I stand by you people, and then everything else will fall in place. Other things will fall in place. Meanwhile, we keep doing the best we can. So, Doc, you have anything else to add?
Yes,
while we wait for questions? Yeah.
Yes. Let me support you on that. This is your platform, and I'd like you to speak more and talk to our people. But I want to let Ambazonians know that we will get the countries to recognize us. They are compelled to do so. Our cause is so unique. It is so grounded in international principles. We cannot be dispossessed of our land. And so, as I told the BBC during an interview, that the world will recognize the existence of the state of Ambazonia willingly, as a matter of principle and international obligation, or we will have to compel them to do so as a matter of moral obligation. And I am glad, and as you know, as you've said, we are working extremely very hard, pointedly, talking to those sources to make sure at the appropriate time we get that recognition that we badly need to become part of the international system. Because that will open to Ambazonians all over the world opportunities in terms of economics, opportunity in terms of political participation, opportunities in terms of diplomacy, opportunities in terms of international protection. Ambazonians need that to go to bed in peace. And that must go hand in hand with the recapture of the territories that have fallen into the hands of La Republique from 1961. Because before you are recognized, you must have to show cause that you have a territory that you control, a territory that you can defend. That is why my job is more focused to make sure I provide to you who is focused on targeted diplomacy, that territorial space that you can basically take as tangible evidence of your control and possession of a territory to show to those partners, here we are, here we come, and here we are to stay. And I'm very sure working in collaboration, guided by the basic understanding of how the international system works, we are going to be free as soon as possible.
Amen. So thank you, Dr. AYABA. And that answers one of the questions that I got. I think Dennis asked, when are we going to Boya? I'm getting impatient. So you heard it. You heard from the Commander-in-Chief himself, Dennis. We're gonna get to Boya sooner than later. Okay. So let's also not just come on this platform and ask those questions. Let's keep supporting the struggle financially. However we are able to. But financially, right now, we need the financial support of the Ambazonian people to get what we need, whether be it diplomacy or self-defense. It's not going to be done by us coming online and liking and sharing and asking questions, but it's going to be by us, dipping our hands in our pockets and supporting these efforts financially. We need to buy, we need to buy granite, and we also need to, diplomacy. Sometimes you cannot just call a diplomat a potential ally on the phone and make a phone call. Some of these initiatives, they need somebody to actually displace themselves and fly somewhere and meet other people. So all those initiatives, they need a lot of financial sacrifices. And so we're really calling on those of you who are coming to the platform to also think of, supporting all these initiatives financially, because there is no way we can achieve all of this without the financial support of the Ambazonian people.
Let me add something to Dennis, Chairlady. Comrade Dennis, this revolution is not about the destination. It's a journey. And I would like you to enjoy every part of this journey. I want you to look at where you're coming from. Look at how far we have come. I want you to look at the fact that less than 2 years ago, we had no territory of our own. 2 years ago, the Ambazonian people were not mentally free. 2 years ago, the world could not even pronounce the word Ambazonia. 2 years ago, the US Congress did not even know if there was a territorial space called Ambazonia. The UK Parliament, the German Parliament, the European Union. 2 years ago, Ambazonians themselves did not collectively express themselves the way they are doing today. This has been our journey. And I can assure you that we have fought hard in every block to make sure that we free Ambazonians mentally, that the world understands our plight, that international institutions know we exist. It has been an amazing journey. And I want Ambazonians never to forget, if you focus on the destination, you're going to miss a lot. We are already there. Buea is just a place. Most revolutions for freedom, for independence, and without the people capturing their capital. And as I said in my last outing, at the appropriate time, we will get a temporal capital from where we can operate. And only when we are pretty sure that we have the potential to dislodge La Republique in Buea shall we move into Buea. So as the chair lady has said, don't like fund for the protection of your airspace. Don't simply like fund for targeted diplomacy. And that's how we're gonna finally get to our destination.
Okay, so I have a question here from Richard. And he's asking if we are on a diplomatic mission and it happens that you are asked the question, who amongst the numerous groups is speaking for AMBAZONIA? You know, first of all, groups don't speak for AMBAZONIA. Let me be very categorical here today that ARC is the legitimate platform that represents the people of AMBAZONIA, okay? ARC is an organization of all the groups in AMBAZONIA that came together to form a collaborative platform on behalf of AMBAZONIA. So what we're doing here, everything the SIG does, most of the things we do under the platform of the ARC. So ARC stands for AMBAZONIA Recognition Collaborative Council. So when we talk of recognition, we present the ARC and its logo wherever we go, because that is meeting of international community requirements. So all the groups that are fighting for the independence and the recognition of AMBAZONIA, they have all come under the ARC, and they have all agreed to fight and pursue the recognition of AMBAZONIA. And so that is the legitimate body that is working for the recognition of our country. So be rest assured and don't you panic, please. And we're also working on getting all the other groups, you know, the IG group and all the other groups. I don't know which other ones are out there. I think the SCNC, we're working on getting them. I think the SCNC is with the IG group. So those two to get with us. Nobody's going under anybody. You know, this is not a matter of under or over. And I've spoken to a few comrades in this struggle and told everybody refrain from using the word something is going under something or somebody is going under somebody. Nobody's going under anybody. We're all coming together and putting our efforts, you know, syncing everything so that we can have a one common goal, and efforts are not duplicated, resources are not wasted. And so with no apologies, the ARC is the legitimate platform that is working for the recognition of AMBAZONIA. And that said, we are, I don't know if I really have to state the date here, but sometime next month, the ARC is gonna be representing AMBAZONIA at the inaugural ceremony of AMBAZONIA. Did you all know that AMBAZONIA has been accepted into the UNPO? So AMBAZONIA has been accepted into the UNPO. So come September, we are sending a delegation to go and witness the inaugural ceremony, or not witness, be part or inaugurate AMBAZONIA. I don't think you go and witness the inauguration of your country. You go and inaugurate your country into the UNPO. And so that is one of the diplomatic pushes that we have done. And on behalf of ARC, the AGC took that project even way before, you know, they became an ARC, we constituted ARC. So I would take this opportunity, you all, to really say thank you to the folks in the AGC. I had an opportunity to be in a meeting with the AGC, and I will tell you, this group is one of the most organized, and the work, the way they work. Okay, everything is done diplomatically, not democratically. They operate on the principles of democracy in AGC. So when you see an AGC person sneeze at you, they're sneezing at something you're doing that is not democratic. And so we can learn a thing or two from the AGC when it comes to democracy. So I know one of our African leaders had said we have the tendency to Africans have an affinity for people or leaders who don't know, who don't understand what they're doing. But I hope that is not going to be true for Ambazonia. I hope this is not going to remain true for us, that we are having an affinity for groups and people who don't have a vision. So we're not gonna, let's stop doing that. Let's be humble and support what works, and support people who have a vision for the restoration or the recognition of Ambazonia. Let's not be fooling ourselves and running after something that is not gonna take us anywhere. It's not a crime to do the right thing. It is not a crime to do the right thing. And we should stop giving credit to wrong things and just being so violent against the people who are doing the right thing. So this is like the way we are prosecuting this struggle. What I've seen in my little place as a mother is in the house where you have a child that is good. The good child. The tendency is for the mother to always act like she's biased towards that good child. So Dr. Cho AYABA, people are not really coming after you because you're bad. Sometimes it's out of frustration. You are that good child that the mother is always going to and telling you to do A, B, C, D, as if you're not doing A, B, C, D. And sometimes we don't realize, the Ambazonian people don't realize that that's what they're doing to you, okay? So, and the tendency is for the good child to just, the incalcitrant child to just go under the radar and be left alone. So, keep soaring. And no matter what goes on and all the negative statements you get, sometimes I read between some of those statements, it's out of frustration. It's not really because people don't think you are who you are, okay? People think you are who you are. People know you are the encyclopedia of revolutions. So keep soaring, and someday, everybody will come to accept that and be honest with that. Okay, and like I said, it's time to face the truth. It's time to follow what is good, and it's time to accept what is good, and it's time to say, you are wrong, and let's fix it. Okay. So I go make this small talk for my people. Yeah, that is who you are, and that is my opinion, and I speak for a lot of people. So when and like I said, in the family or in every situation, people have a role to play. When I made a video a few months ago, almost a year ago, about Mama Ambazonia living the bad Papa La République. After Mami Ambazonia leave La République, he come back for Ambazonia. He meet all kinds of man picking them where they say they like Mami. They go take Mami, they go marry Mami, they go do this for Mami. And so Mami picking them, they send money from one man country. That man, they take that money, just they play with Mami, they play around. They do anything for Mami. Because he knows that Mami get picking them for one man country. They send Mami money from one man country. So this man come, just they play around, say love Mami, he go marry Mami. But we don't discover, say this man, look like he really like Mami, look like he want marry Mami. He like Mami, no doubt. But not just because of the money where Mami picking and send for you for one man country. That's it. Get any intention for marry Mami. So I think some Mami, he get picking, they don't figure out. They don't figure out where to go on. When Mami get picking, they go unleash on this Papa, on this man, where he leave Mami come for village, he the fool Mami say go marry Mami. they send money, they take and chop, and they go unleash on you soon. We'll gradually take money from you, and we'll get an account. What would they send mommy money now directly inside the account? You know, it full mommy when they send mommy money for how do you call that thing again? For MoneyGram or Western Union, it can't take an ID go cash out. It full mommy say go help mommy, go marry mommy, all of that. So we don't find out where to go on. So when we will take all that money, we not maybe like mommy, we don't know, but we will take all that money from mommy. We'll make them very difficult for mommy for whole money. This time mommy money will go straight for that account. We will see whether it still get love for mommy or not. So that is what is gonna happen. So yeah, nothing that way will happen. So we not believe any man, you know, La Republic don't abuse mommy all these years, you know, mistreat it. And then he come back for village, come back for AMBAZONIA, say he come, you know, seek refuge. He one can reach some foolish, you know, some smooth talker, pick mommy, say go marry mommy. You know, just the look, all of a sudden we'll discover, saying that just because of money, where this smooth talker like mommy, it's not be say he really like mommy. So, but like I talk, maybe he like mommy for real. When we go take money from mommy, then we'll see whether I go marry mommy. So that is what one of the things that I want to talk today. So we're not gonna means words no more. We're not gonna let the we're gonna support the right thing. We're gonna support what is good. We're gonna support initiatives that are taking us to AMBAZONIA. We'll support initiatives that are taking us to the finish line. We're not gonna support initiatives that are just euphoric, initiatives that don't have any vision. So when you have a vision, we would stand with you. And if you have a vision, you're welcome in the ARC. And if you don't have a vision, you come in the ARC and we groom you, we can get you doing something. But our vision is not gonna be an illusion. So I just had to say my piece on that one. So Doctor, I see you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Chairlady.
Yeah. So
I think Amazonians, it's a learning curve. It's this revolution is the nursery that is going to prepare Ambazonians for governance. You know, we've been under a very autocratic system for so long that people have become accustomed to the illegalities, the worship, deceit, and manipulations. And it will take a while to, you know, untangle Ambazonians from that web. And I'm very sure that as the revolution goes forward, Ambazonians are becoming more mature in their perception of things. Detecting the kind of tendencies that we are escaping from. And all of us as leaders are also learning that you cannot take Ambazonians for a ride. We are also learning that in a revolution, you cannot simply manipulate your way to power. You can't. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Only those who have an agenda based on careful analysis of the facts, who have a vision based on the love of the outcome, and who see themselves as simply an instrument to achieving that objective, will stay the course of time. I'm not worried. People can throw whatever they want to throw on me. I am definitely very sure the majority of Ambazonians are happy with where we are today. You get up every morning, despite that we've lost people on the ground, despite the suffering of our people in prison, despite the fact that some of them are detained incommunicado in places that we don't know. You feel pride in the fact that you have taught Cameroon one lesson they have never learned in their life, that you've taken the cry that also to the other side, that you've been able to show strength, to demonstrate power, and to demonstrate the right to possess your own country. That Cameroon will never mess with us again, as though we are a people without hope. All of these things, all of these experiences will culminate someday into a better country for all of us. Those who are negative, they play their part. Ambazonia is like a garden with many flowers. The diversity brings beauty, and we should tolerate one another, work in a collaborative way, respect the weak, the powerful, those who are not as good as we are, and those who are even better than us. That's the only way we can build a better country for all of us.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doc. Yeah. So talking about diplomacy, and we talked about the well, I mentioned two, precise diplomatic pushes that we're about to make, and we need support. We need financial support. And one thing that is really, this one I would mention here, we have an Ambazonian brother, a bulldozer, who has been, quiet, like we say, a mouth that is full does not talk. He's been quietly working and doing everything in his power to get us, readmitted into the UMPO. So this is, I happen to be privileged to get the information on what happened. So our, it's not, some people have said we were not, the Southern Cameroon used to be part of the UMPO before, so it's not, AGC should not take credit for doing that, and that is true. So we used to be part of the UMPO, and then the yearly dues were not being paid. The yearly dues of $3,000 or 3,000 euro were not paid, so we were dropped out. We were dropped out of the UMPO, so we had to reapply, and AGC took upon themselves to do that. So kudos to AGC for doing that under the leadership of Dr. AYABA and the direction of Dr. AYABA and the leadership of Dr. Larry Ayamba. Okay, so Dr. Larry Ayamba is the person who has really worked tirelessly, and he has a team that has helped him also to get this done. So let's give him an applause for that. And so we will be going to, he is, putting up a group of a team that is going to accompany him to the to Paris, where that inaugural ceremony is going to take place. So if you're going, if you're one of those going, that is great. And if you're not one of those going, it is a big deal for us. It is a big deal for Ambazonia, and we have to be there. We're not only just going to go there and and clap and see our flag hoisted. Ambazonians, our flag is going to be hoisted at the UMPO, okay? So this is a big deal. If you're not going to go, your eyes will be glued on the TV that day, and you're going to put your money. We're gonna pass a basket around for you to fund that trip for those who are going, and your eyes will be glued in the TV because it's going to be it's going to be broadcasted. So the big TV networks are going to come. And we're not going to go there and stand and clap. We're going to prepare our speeches. We're going to be precise with everything we would say on that day. So this is an initiative that I really want all of us to support financially, please. And you never know who you would meet when you go to such places. And when you meet a diplomat, a potential diplomat, their plate, the plate of food they eat is not just $100. For some reason, the food they eat is always so expensive. So we are really calling on Ambazonians to support the UMPO project, not just because, people are flying to go there. People are flying to go there and fish for Ambazonia. So I would let Dr. AYABA take, explain about the UMPO project further, because he was really, hands-on with that project. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chairlady. You make it sound so good, and I'm glad. One of the most interesting thing about this inauguration and having our flag hoisted is that every group will be participating, and I see the communications, and I know that every group has been invited to send a delegate. So all of us are there as a people, and that's wonderful. That's how we start translating the rhetorical statements about collaboration in some practical reality. But the most interesting thing about UMPO is that when we do internationalization, when we talk about diplomacy, when we talk about getting the world to be part of our struggle, it's broad. Our admission in UMPO is targeted. It means you start going to talking to countries that have been part of UMPO before and have been recognized. And I know, Chairlady, you and Dr. Larry and the Vice President of the AGC, Barrister Stephen Bay, you people will be leading this charge. And my pointer is that we push for the recognition, because one of the greatest failures of Ambazonians in targeted diplomacy is complacency. We think simply because we are shouting about independence, a country is just simply going to sympathize and recognize us. It's never going to happen. We have to be persistent. We have to show countries that we mean business and that we are ready to govern. We have to knock on doors. If they can't open, we smash through them. And I think the event in September, there is another event in Geneva. I think Dr. Larry will be attending that one at the United Nations Human Rights Council before you people are moving for the UNPO event. It's going to be a few days of intense, targeted diplomatic opportunity that Ambazonia will be proud of. And I can assure you, I'm looking at that date and making sure I'm letting the Ambazonian Defense Forces give you the stick with which you can show the world that this is your country, this is your space, and they should recognize. So working together in terms of what you are doing in terms of targeted diplomacy, in terms of what we are doing in terms of the defense of the homeland, is the best playbook that we have designed in our struggle to be free from Cameroon.
Amen. And so, like I said at one time, I don't remember if it was on this platform or somewhere, I mentioned that our struggle is is no longer diplomacy versus self-defense. They have managed to separate us at any given corner. At every given turn, they find a way to separate us, to say, the diplomats against the ones for self-defense. There's nobody for self-defense. There's nobody for diplomacy. There is diplomacy in every one of us. We are all diplomats, and as we prosecute this struggle moving forward, we should all have the diplomat and the soldier ignited in all of us. So you're not going to say I'm a diplomat and I'm not self-defense, or I'm self-defense, I'm not a diplomat. So what does that mean? So are you saying when you go somewhere and you see something that would help self-defense, you will say, oh no, that's not my business? So we have to read every book. You have to pick up a book for self-defense, and you have to pick up a book for diplomacy and read it, so that when you're confronted with anything, you have an answer to it. So there's no segregation no more. There's no diplomacy versus self-defense no more. We're not divided. We may talk a little bit differently, but we're all brothers and sisters in the same house. So anybody who is pushing that again is an agent of division, and we bind that. We bind division in our midst. I think that is dead and buried, and we're moving forward. And the unity we seek, we should not seek unity with anxiety. We should not seek unity with anxiety. Sometimes you give people time to get to where you are. You know, when you have a vision for something and you craft it, it's not, when that vision came to you, it didn't come to everybody at the same time. And so when you pull people to come to you, you give them time to warm up to that vision. And when they're not, when they're not coming on board, it's not because they don't want to, it's because you know, they need time. And so give them the time. And I would call up on the groups, on all the surrogates and all the followers of this struggle. Don't follow people, follow ideas. And please refrain from using statements that we're not united, we're divided, because we're not. You know, people, like I said, need time to warm up to ideas. You know, my vision is not your vision, but I will give you time to warm up to my vision, and I need time to warm up to your vision. That's just what it is. It's not division. So let's not pursue unity with anxiety, because when we pursue unity with anxiety, we are going to go over a cliff. Okay, so let's be patient, and the unity that we seek is going to, it has already happened, in my opinion. And like Dr. AYABA said earlier, this is the first time in our struggle that AMBAZONIA rose. So AMBAZONIA has risen. Let's now work on how we get AMBAZONIA recognized and stop searching for unity, which is right here in our noses. We're united. We all want the independence, and we want AMBAZONIA recognized. We want AMBAZONIA free. That is unity. So to work together, you know, like I said, it's not a walk in the park. To get people with different visions, with different emotions from AMBAZONIA, it's not a walk in the park. We have been in the ARC. I have watched these men fight. And I told Dr. Choya, but the day they fought and exchanged very heavy words, I told him, I said, this is a good day for AMBAZONIA, because I was waiting for that day when, you know, you guys will fight like brothers of the same mother, and then then come back and make peace. And so those things would happen. And so we should stop echoing the voices, negativity, and echo more of positive things that happen to us in this struggle. So for brothers to fight is not a bad thing, but it's those of us who take advantage of those fights. We are excited to see negative things. When they happen, we pick them up and we run with them. They don't do us no good. They don't do AMBAZONIA no good. The people on the ground are not happy. And I saw a few AMBAZONIANs watching from ground zero. I hope we are doing better now. I promised them last time that we would do better at not getting at each other's throat. I hope we're doing better. I believe we are, and it's a work in progress. And I will do my best, you know, to see to it that we continue to strive to work together. You know, we continue to try to work together. But when you don't get your results, when you don't get what you want, you know, please let's be patient, and don't force it. You know, when you force it, you break it, and when you break it, it's difficult to manage. So we have the art. You know, as you can see, this is the art. These are all the groups of the art. You see the AGC, the Southern Comoro Women, ACYL, Maurice, you have a PERM, you have Rowan. So my goal is for this logo to become a whole round circle, you know, and we will get there. So my goal, our goal, and all we should all strive to make sure that circle, that whole circle becomes is filled, and we're all working together. And it's one day at a time. And it's one day at a time. So I thank you so much for your patience, and I'm doing my best. I don't do this alone. I consult with a lot of people. I work with my sisters. I talk with a lot of people on the background. So it is not easy. You know, we have seen this before. We went from Morris to Skakov, and then we have ARC now. You know, it's not about running around and forming stuff. It's about working day and night putting in efforts and being patient and and tolerance with each other to get to where we want. It's not just mentioning it and saying it and then it happens. It's a work. You know, you were dealing with all kinds of emotions, and tolerance is key. So that is where we are, and I'm begging for us to be patient and don't rush into doing something that is so precious. Thank you so much, Doug.
Thanks a lot for that. I think you are correct. It takes a while to build a collaborative platform, and sometimes there are entrenched positions based on the differences in strategy. But I think within ARC, though there are differences between the movements, we've been able to work in those areas that we agree, and that's what we are talking about, collaboration. And I know at this particular moment we are talking across the board. We're talking, before I came in here, I had a few seconds discussion with Dr. Sako. A few days ago, I had a long discussion with Comrade Bowie. And it was fun. It was really nice. I and you, we talk probably every 48 hours. And I'm very confident that these conversations is going to bridge the gap between us. I know our people have a wrong conception of the notion of unity. We come from a system that is hierarchy in nature, one overlord who governs everybody. They are not used to the multiple centers of power approach to governance, which is the one which is sustainable. And it will take a while, it will take a lot of education, a lot of explaining to let our people know that the time of the king that rules everyone is over. We are going to have multiple centers. What we should strive to do is to avoid duplication. So that if you are going to for the recognition of AMBAZONIA somewhere, I am not going to the same place. That we are talking about that process and we can support each other. AMBAZONIA must come to recognize there will be multiple centers of power in this revolution. Going forward and beyond the stage where we are governing ourselves. That is the way we can hold each other accountable. They must kill in themselves that notion of the powerful overlord that rules everybody with one set of principles. No, there will be people who oppose certain practices. What we should not do is to come online and start bashing one another. We should mitigate that through background discussions, through understanding. And we should stop being opportunistic. Each time we want to be opportunistic to override others, we spur the anger in people and they run around throwing punches. So let ground zero know. Today alone, from yesterday till today on ground zero, we were able to coordinate more than 25 brigades from across the entire territory. They were able to connect. I'll give you an example. When we saw pictures the other day of dead AMBAZONIA Defense Forces, there was an outcry. 2 hours, we were able to establish that those were old pictures, probably staged. And now, if there is an attack on an AMBAZONIA brigade anywhere within the territory, the general is informed. And once we saw this picture, the first thing was to reach out to the people. And no cable had reached his desk to show that there was an attack on any brigade anywhere. That is the network of collaboration that is exercised by people who do not even have the tools like we have here. And so we want to sit out here. I want to know what Bo Herbert is doing. He gave me a detailed briefing of his ideas, his concepts. And we talked about it. And we laughed about the beauty that we emerged from that discussion with. We have just talked, I see people discussing about the inauguration, the input Dr. AYABA sends a document within a few moments. It is edited by different people from different platforms. That is the high sense of collaboration we are talking about. The other thing I'm telling Dr. Sako, I need to wear you a monk on traditional dress and you teach me how to wear the Bakure outfit. That is the kind of sense of humor that we can build amongst ourselves to bridge the gap that has so much divided us. And I think it has been artificial. And I think, Chairlady, you are doing quite good. And we look forward to your leadership as we move forward to holding the kind of consultative and collaborative meetings that will, institutionalize these forms of collaboration amongst the leaders and give our people hope that this journey is going to be very short.
Amen. Yeah. And thank you, Doc. And as we work towards such consultative talks and collaboration, there are just a few words that I just find to be, and I said that earlier, the word coming under, it has a very negative connotation to it, and the person making the statement as well as the person receiving it, I don't understand what they would mean by somebody coming under somebody. Mama AMBAZONIA did not, she had all of us, and all of us should see ourselves as the same. And she has a very particular, all of us have a role to play in getting our mother, getting Mama AMBAZONIA free and recognized. So no one should be seen as coming under another one. We should all be seen as working together under, if we're coming under anything, it's under Mama AMBAZONIA. And if we are humble enough to see ourselves, like that, that's the best way we would prosecute this struggle, where the only person over us is Mama AMBAZONIA, and we're all working under her to get her the freedom that she needs. So I really call on our brothers. I've spoken to a few people, and the word under is not, to me, it's a negative, a negative word when it comes to working together in a collaborative platform. And it also, it probably stems from what you said earlier about where we came from, where, we have lived 56 years under a government that sorry about that. I had a call coming in. A government that represented everybody. We were all united. We're all told that we're under the government. We're united, but in that unity, only a few were more united than others, and that's where we find ourselves today. And I hope, moving forward, let not Ambazonians ever want such a unity for themselves, because such a unity is what brought us here, and as we fight, we should run away from such a unity also. All righty. Okay. So over to you.
Yes, I'll probably give my last word, and I'll leave you on your platform alone to drive the show. Now, this is what I like to tell Ambazonians. Cameroon has lost grip of our country. All attempts that is being orchestrated on the ground with the Munzu Tumi approaches must be rejected by Ambazonians. One of my top advisors told me something very unique. We have struggled for this long to internationalize our struggle. We fought and bled on the ground to make sure the world knows that there is AMBAZONIA. And it is shameful that someone like Kadina Tomi and Dr. Munzo will try to collaborate with the system to make this struggle again a domestic affair under the authority of Cameroon. We had a brilliant gentleman also from the circle of the churches who was bold enough to present our case at the US Congress. Cardinal Tomi is highly connected. That's a cardinal watching our people being killed on the ground, watching villages being bombed, wiped out completely from the face of the earth. And he doesn't use that authority to talk to the Vatican. He doesn't use that authority to talk to other cardinals in the world. The pussyfoot around to go hold a conference in Boya is an abuse of the intelligence of Ambazonians. It's an attempt to usurp our struggle. And Ambazonians in their collective majority must reject that with every strength and iota of energy that they have in their blood. We have not fought this hard, bled this much, to allow a few opportunists at an opportune moment to want to hijack this struggle and hand it over again to Cameroon to adjudicate it as though it was a domestic affair of Cameroon. It will not happen. Not in our capital, not this time, not when our people are being shot at point blank range. And as I said, and I don't mince my words, we got guns now. And we have our way, we will shoot our way through this revolution against every collaborator and every enabler. We expect Ambazonians of good standing to speak on behalf of Ambazonia, to consult with the leaders of Ambazonia, and to make sure every decision they make reflects the collective aspiration of the Ambazonian people, which is to have a free country of their own. Ground zero fighters. You may be carrying guns. You may be carrying sticks. You may be carrying nothing. You may be carrying just your bare body. But you are the instrument through which Ambazonia is going to be free. You have humbled Cameroon thus far. You have bled them in our villages. You've made our cities ungovernable. You have to persist. You have to press on your advantage to make sure nobody, no event, no activity in the name of an election, in the name of any conference, takes place within the territorial space of Ambazonia without the consent of the Ambazonian people and an explicit statement from the leaders of Ambazonia. We have done well thus far, but we must continue in that spirit, collaborate on the ground as fighters, where you can back up brigades that have been do that. Everyone fighting under the flag must be supported and defended. We trust in your capacity and we make sure that we provide the kind of leadership that will make you proud. Good night. Goodbye, Ambazonians.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Doc. I know it's late for you. Go and get some rest and keep soaring. Thank you so much. Okay, Ambazonians. So I think this broadcast would we'll go ahead and end the broadcast now, because if we have questions, no, I mean, if he's gone, if somebody to take the platform like I did last time, we may take 30 more minutes to do that. If you want to request to join, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I don't see that anybody is requesting to go on the platform and make a statement about anything. So I'm thankful again for everybody that joined in today. And okay, yeah, I thought somebody was saying something. I'm thankful again. You know, thank you all who came in today and supported our talk in this platform. I hope what was said today, like I said, I prayed God earlier to bless my mouth, and I hope everything that I said today came from my mouth, the mouth that was blessed by God, and I hope it's for the glory, in the glory of His name, and it will go to help free Mama Ambazonia. So thank you, God. God bless us all. Go forth and be ambassadors of Mama Ambazonia. Thank you all for watching and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.